The most dangerous walk you will ever take and why it's worth it. Today, I'm going to show you the most bizarre 10-minute walking protocol that will act like the ultimate biological reset for your entire body. And I'm not just talking about getting fit or helping your lungs or your heart. I'm talking about rewiring your brain. But I have to start with a warning because what I'm going to describe could land you in the emergency room. If your knees are aching and your balance is a little bit off and you find yourself shuffling a little bit more than usual, the absolute worst thing you could possibly do is go for a normal walk on a flat sidewalk. This will be accelerating the breakdown of knee cartilage when you do that. But I'm giving you a disclaimer because I know someone's going to say, well, Dr. Berg, I can't believe you're recommending this for people right out of the gate without actually warming up. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have to do this gradually to work up to it, okay? First, let's talk about what happens when you walk on a flat sidewalk to get your exercise, right? Or even a flat treadmill. Very similar to when you go to the zoo and you see these animals inside their cages, they have this like flat cement. Very, very unnatural. Your foot has been perfectly sculpted over a very, very long time to navigate uneven surfaces, rocks, dirt, unpredictable terrain. But for the last 100 years, we've put our feet in these things called shoes, and then we walk on very flat, hard surfaces for long periods of time. Your cerebellum, that controls balance and coordination and posture, literally contains half of the neurons in your entire brain. But because you only walk on flat surfaces, everything's very predictable, and this massive supercomputer doesn't really have to do much because it's on autopilot. And as you get older and you start hitting your 60s, this brain tissue starts to shrink. And doing ordinary walking on flat surfaces, very predictable surfaces, does not stop this process. Even if you take 10,000 steps a day, hitting the exact same millimeters on your knee cartilage 10,000 times a day, you wonder why your knees end up as bone on bone. So the type of walking that most people do is basically just kind of like this illusion that they're getting a lot of exercise when they're not even getting close to what they could be getting as far as exercise. So there's two things that the brain responds to: novelty, something that's really new and unpredictable, and uneven pressure, forcing that idle cerebellum to wake up. And at the same time, you need a movement that completely shifts the mechanical load from this worn out spot on your knee cartilage and forces your glutes and your hamstrings to do the work that they've been avoiding for years. And you do not need to go to the gym for an hour or even do puzzles for your brain. This is much more powerful. You're going to be walking backwards, and eventually you'll be doing it up an uneven hill. If we think about just what happens when you start walking backwards, some fascinating things happen. Number one, the pressure on your knee joints drop by 40% instantly. There's a neurological reflex that you're activating when you walk backwards that causes the hamstrings to get longer. So the flexibility improves, the tension on your lower back loosens up. And one study, they showed 13% flexibility in their hamstrings just with walking backwards. But the biggest thing is your brain will light up like a Christmas tree. You're stimulating parts of the brain, waking up the cerebellum. We're going to activate it and get it to start to thicken and rebuild itself while you walk backwards. Now, compounding on that, after you get used to going backwards gradually and you're comfortable and you're stable, you're going to gradually do this going backwards up a grassy hill, okay? And the biggest muscle that you're going to activate is your glute muscles, or the tissue between your navel and your knees. What I'm going to show you is the exact way to do it. So a lot of people ask me, what supplements do I recommend? Now, of course, I'm not biased of my own high quality supplement line, but if you go to Amazon and type Dr. Berg supplements, you'll find more information. First of all, we're combining a lot of things at once. We're going to be walking backwards. We're going to be going up a hill. I recommend also the shoes that you wear are flatter shoes without heels, so you're more grounded. Some people do barefoot walking. I personally like that. And just so you know, I've been doing this for a while, and it is amazing how strong my ankles are and how much more coordinated I am. But you're going to be doing something for your cognitive function in 10 minutes that you couldn't do with any other exercise. Walking backwards on an uneven hill could be a high-risk situation where you can fall and hurt yourself. So I am not going to recommend that for someone who is more frail or fragile. Also, I don't recommend you start on a hill, okay? Only after you get comfortable on a flat surface. And even when you get to the hill, do it on a very small hill where you can go up gradually, maybe at the park or something. I'm going to recommend first, go in your backyard, okay? Go in your backyard and start walking backwards in kind of a circle, very slowly, to get your coordination there, right? Just so you can do it, so you're comfortable with that, and you're going to be doing that for a period of time. Maybe a few weeks until you really feel more stable. But once you get comfortable with that, you want to find a place that has not a steep hill, a very nice gradual hill. And you want to start on that, okay? You start walking backwards very slowly, okay? Just get comfortable doing that. And you're going to be doing that for a few weeks. Just that alone is going to be a game changer for you, because you're going to be sending so much information to your brain just walking backwards that your brain's going to start to rewire and be reprogrammed neurologically for motion. If your environment is off, everything else struggles. It's like a fish tank. Pollute the water and the fish get sick. You could feed them the best food, you can treat every single symptom, but if the water stays toxic, nothing recovers. The body runs on 10 signals like insulin, cortisol, inflammation, sleep quality, gut function. Every one of them affects how you feel. But there is always one signal that is more broken than the rest. And until you fix that one, everything else stays stuck. I built a free 2-minute quiz that finds it for you. It tells you which one of the main signals is holding your body back right now. Click the link in the description, take the quiz, and stop guessing. Now, for some people, they might not even get to the level of walking up a hill. They just might get to the level of walking backwards somewhere. And I think that's totally fine. But walking backwards reverses the flow that you've been doing forever. And it's going to take a lot of pressure off your knees and activate the hamstrings and the glutes much better than going forward. And also, instead of walking on cement, find some grass that you can walk on in a park with uneven surfaces. And even if you're walking forward on uneven surfaces, that will send a lot better information to your brain to activate a part of the brain that you probably haven't activated in a long time, as well as strengthen your knees, your ankle, your back, stretch your hamstrings, activate the glutes without adding more time. We're doing all this in the same amount of time that you would be doing when you're walking. All right, so now that you understand this, there's some more information on walking that I'd love you to learn about in this video right here. Check it out.